This evening, NTC's vice president is done with Guyana. GWI hosts public outreach. Mash or Carnival, the public decides. In the region, in Trinidad and Tobago, fiery protests erupt after police-involved shooting. And internationally, Palestine asked the U.S. to remove itself from negotiations with Israel.
From Safe TV headquarters in South Bramwell Gardens, this is Safe TV Headline News with George Gonzalez.
Today is Tuesday, February the 20th, 2018, and this edition of Headline News is now being streamed live on our YouTube channel. Thank you for joining us. Prime Minister and First Vice President Moses Nagamutu has been discharged from the hospital 4 days after successfully having heart bypass surgery and is undergoing rehabilitation. Prime Minister Nagamutu's progress is steady, and he is scheduled for further examinations in the coming days. Prime Minister Nagamutu, on February 12th, underwent heart bypass surgery in the United States, and the medical procedure was completed successfully. The Prime Minister expresses his personal gratitude to the President and the Ministers of Government, as well as all of those who supported him throughout this time. Vice President of the National Tushaws Council, Lennox Schumann, is frustrated with how things are going in Guyana. So frustrated, in fact, that he has decided to pack up and move back to Canada. Wendell Jeffrey sat down with Schumann to ask exactly what has him so upset.
Lennox Schumann is a simple Lakota man from Pakuri. That's it. Married, father of 3, and brother of many, and son of many. I'm the Tushaw of Pakuri. I think my position would be to look out for the interests of my people, not only locally, but also as vice chair of the National Tushaws Council.
Now Lennox Schumann is leaving Guyana with his family, heading back to his adopted home in Canada. He is leaving because he is frustrated with how many things here are managed in his homeland, especially with regards to the indigenous people.
When you've got a commissioner who is not sympathetic to indigenous people's historical claim, then you cannot see any movement in land titling. And land security is the largest things for indigenous people. For us, we've always held close to the land. We've always respected that, you know, centuries, millennia of that. And now you have a commissioner who is not sympathetic to indigenous peoples. For a minister to bring out, you know, I don't know if it was grass and corn or something like that in Parliament and saying, here's your food. Those things do not belong in the highest house. You have the opposition on the other side behaving like a bunch of chimpanzees. To me, those things are unacceptable for our elected officials. So if you're looking at frustration, there are many. The issue there is that you have a ministerial advisor who wants to behave like he's the minister, who acts like he's the minister. He's wielding ministerial power without being a minister. And I don't know which administration would want to sanction an advisor. I think those things in itself would potentially say that Guyana is not ready for people who think down the line. Some people want the country to be confined to small spaces. I think Marvin Williams is one of those. He cannot see beyond his nose. And once you have people like these within society, then it becomes difficult to place people who want to see the country move forward into this context.
Lennox is a pilot by profession and says that he has many reasons for his intention to leave Guyana. He said that Guyana has the potential for greatness, but that it is being hampered by the thinking of those in political positions. I asked the Tushaw leader how about politics and how it has impacted his community. I also asked him about the potential political aspirations of his own. You will hear more in a subsequent report. For Channel 2 Headline News, I am Wendell Jeffrey.
Thanks, Jeffrey. A boat captain and one of his sailors are currently listed in stable condition after being injured in a suspected engine explosion. Captain of the vessel, three brothers, Ramesh Maniram and Ventil Jainarayan, are nursing injuries to their lower limbs as a result of a fire that engulfed the vessel yesterday morning. The incident occurred at around 10 a.m. in the vicinity of Maruka River. According to police, the victims were in the vicinity of the vessel's engine when a loud explosion was heard and a fire started. The fire reportedly spread quickly across the vessel, and the two victims, who were the last to evacuate the boat, received burns. On Sunday, Guyana Water Incorporated informed residents of Caneville, East Bank, Demerara of plans to enhance service within the community. This during an outreach program. Esther Sobers has more.
Managing Director of Guyana Water Incorporated, Dr. Van West Charles, informed the residents of Caneville that 3 water treatment plants are being constructed in Region 3, 4, and 6. They are to be built in communities of Iflood, Diamond, and Sheet Anchor. Those plants are being funded by Inter-American Development Bank at a cost of $31 million. The construction of the plant in Diamond will see Caneville community benefiting from improved water quality. As part of the project, GWI will also be installing water meters to help reduce water wastage, thus allowing customers to only pay for what they consume. While the metering aspect of the project has already begun in Diamond and will soon to commence in Caneville, Dr. Van West Charles assured the residents that they will not have to pay the meter rates until they have seen an improvement in the service. Meanwhile, based on GWI's database, there are 629 customers in Caneville, but many have not been honoring their obligation, resulting in an $8.7 million debt to the company, as that in December 2017. GWI continues to work with the Regional Democratic Councils, the Community Development Council, and the neighboring Democratic Councils to make those offices available to GWI customers make payments, lodge complaints, and view water quality results. GWI's managing director called on residents to cooperate with the company in an effort to complete the water supply and sanitation infrastructure improvement program, which has to be completed within a stipulated time frame. Failing to do so, GWI, which is the executing agency for the improvement project, can lose funds allotted for its realization. Addressing concerns of water discoloration due to the presence of iron, Dr. Van West Charles informed residents that a regional team will be flushing the lines and implementing a product called Sequest to make water clearer. They are expected to see results within the coming week. For Channel 2 Headline News, I'm Esther Sobers.
Thanks, Esther. Don't go away, we have more news for you after the break. For the best Creole food in town, come to Ridley's Restaurant. Taste our hot meals, fresh bread, and sweet pastries. Our spacious dining hall is free for all occasions. For reservations and more, call 226-2518 or 225-7245. We're open Monday to Saturday from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Wrigley's Restaurant, located at 38 Robb Street, Laceytown, between King and Wellington Streets. For breakfast, lunch, and dinner, Ridley's Restaurant. Tasty and healthy eating.
I know who I am. I know who I am. I am yours. I am yours. I know who I am. Oh, I know who I am. I know who I am. I am yours. I am yours. And you are mine.
This place is really hot. What's wrong with your AC?
It's not working.
Well, we wouldn't be able to continue this meeting anymore because this place is extremely hot.
Wait, please don't go.
Here's a company you can call to get your AC fixed. Action Cool.
Honey, what's dinner? I had a hard day. I'm sorry you have a hard day, but guess what, babes? I didn't cook today because the stove is not working.
Having trouble at home or at the office? Then call the professionals at Action Cool. Our fully trained technical team have the skills and experience in repairs of all air-conditioned units, refrigerators, gas stoves, washing machines, and a whole lot more. For further information, visit us at 86 Hill and Princess Street, Mandela Avenue, Georgetown, or call us on telephone number 225-7867.
It's Mashramani in Guyana, and I'm here to tell you about our big mash down sale on February 22nd. All roads lead to clearance. I mean, there's no sense going anywhere else because we have everything you need right here at 134 Church Street. Now, prices will be mashed and slashed to half off on all ladies' dresses, tops, jeans, and sneakers. For my handsome fellas, we have half off on all men's shoes, pants, Nike sneakers, Kenneth Cole slippers, and jeans. Now remember, this sale is for one day only and just one day only. February 22nd. Here at Clarence, we're always keeping you in style.
Welcome back. Police are investigating reports of armed robberies committed on 2 and more East Coast Demerara families. Investigations have revealed that at about 2 this morning, Chatterpal Prasad and his wife were confronted by 3 masked gunmen who gained entry into their one-flat home via a southern door. The couple was robbed of a quantity of gold jewelry and a sum of cash. During the robbery, Prasad was dealt several lashes to his head, after which the couple's hands were bound. The bandits then proceeded to Prasad's parents' home, which was adjacent to the house, and allegedly robbed his 51-year-old mother of cash and jewelry as well. Her husband, who was sleeping in another room, was not disturbed. Chatterpal Prasad received treatment at the Maikoni Cottage Hospital and was sent away. No arrests have been made. Investigations are ongoing. Last year, it was announced that Carnival would be coming to Guyana. In this report, Wendell Jeffrey asked persons which do they prefer, Mashramani or Carnival.
Last year, the Ministry of Tourism said that they will introduce the concept of a carnival here in Guyana. Today, Channel 2 Headline News took our camera to the streets to ask folks what they thought about the idea of Mashramani versus Carnival.
All 2 of them, because I guess I like partying for me, so that would be great.
What I think they should do, right? They should change the mash whenever the fasting month coming on. You know, because a lot of tourists want to come, but by the fasting is on now, you know, they cancel it. This is a month. The mash is a tourism really. So I think they should try to fix it before the fasting start, or after the fasting, like Trinidad and the other islands just do before. And you get more tourism, more visitors, you know.
We look for Carnival or Mashramani. I want the public servants them get better pay.
Well, I know about Mash, me get time with Carnival. I respect the Carnival if they bring it in, but Mash is foundation from your days why you growing know about Mashramani.
Well, I'm a Guyanese, I look after Mash. Can't look after nothing else.
Because Mashramani is Guyanese thing. I always think I'm on the TV, right?
Well, me foreign woman looking for the Carnival. Because she asked me like the Carnival, like they promote it, she want to know what's really going on. Because she planned to come to Guyana for the Carnival. So I want to know if the Carnival really coming out second and like the ship and let she come and enjoy her vacation. But she looking forward for the Carnival, I'm telling you.
For Channel 2 Headline News, I am Wendell Jeffrey.
Thanks, Wendell. The initial hearing of the Commission of Inquiry into the Lindo Creek Massacre was postponed last Thursday. At the time, Commissioner Donald Trotman reported that there were some internal prerequisites and logistical issues that caused the postponement. Today, it has been announced that the COI will be, quote, postponed until further notice, end quote. Persons close to the COI speculate that the lack of willingness on the part of witnesses to come forward is to blame for the postponement. In honor of Mashramani, North Rheinveld Multilateral School hosted its yearly Cultural Day cookout. Wendell Jeffrey was there and filed this report.
February is Culture Month, and the students at the North Rheinveld Multilateral School were hands-on today. For the first time, the students and teachers cooked a variety of national dishes based on Guyana's cultural diversity. Akin Sanya and Ashanti Gibbs shared their involvement.
What's happening here today is a cultural cookout with different ethnic groups. Well, this group here is the Africans. They're cooking some cook-up and fried fish, which is, yes, a nice delicious food. I help to cut up the onions and the garlic.
Can you cook?
Yeah, I've been practicing for a while now.
Sir Mars gave an overview of today's activities.
We the Africans and we cook up rice and fried fish with cucumber and fried plantain with lovely swank, who we known as lime juice.
But they had other ethnic groups.
Yes, and the other groups who do Korean rice, doing Amerindian dish, the pepper pot, and then we got the Portuguese, we got the Chinese, they're doing the chow mein, and they're doing the chicken stew, and so forth.
Who fund these?
Well, the children themselves fund it, parents and teachers, we put our monies together, and we come up and children contribute monies, and we come up with the ideas of what we're going to do and how we're going to get it.
How often you do this?
Well, this is the first time we have a cook-out. First time we have a cook-out. But we always would have Culture Day, which will be on Thursday. But this is the first time we have a cook-out.
For Channel 2 Headline News, I am Wendell Jeffrey.
Thanks, Wendell. Join us after the break for your regional news, international news, and more.
This place is really hot. What's wrong with your AC?
It's not working.
Well, we wouldn't be able to continue this meeting anymore because this place is extremely hot.
Wait, please don't go.
Here's a company you can call to get your AC fixed. Action Cool.
Honey, what's dinner? I had a hard day.
I'm sorry you had a hard day, but guess what, babes? I didn't cook today because the stove is not working.
Having trouble at home or at the office? Then call the professionals at Action Cool. Our fully trained technical team have the skills and experience in repairs of all air-conditioned units, refrigerators, gas stoves, washing machines, and a whole lot more. For further information, visit us at 86 Hill and Princess Street, Mandela Avenue, Georgetown, or call us on telephone number 225-7867.
For the best Creole food in town, come to Ridley's Restaurant. Taste our hot meals, fresh bread, and sweet pastries. Our spacious dining hall is free for all occasions. For reservations and more, call 226-2518 or 225-7245. We're open Monday to Saturday from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Wrigley's Restaurant, located at 38 Robb Street, Laceytown, between King and Wellington Streets. For breakfast, lunch, and dinner, Ridley's Restaurant. Tasty and healthy eating.
It's Mashramani in Guyana, and I'm here to tell you about our big Mashdown sale on February 22nd. All roads lead to clearance. I mean, there's no sense going anywhere else because we have everything you need right here at 134 Church Street. Now, prices will be mashed and slashed to half off on all ladies' dresses, tops, jeans, and sneakers. For my handsome fellas, we have half off on all men's shoes, pants, Nike sneakers, Kenneth Cole slippers, and jeans. Now remember, this sale is for one day only and just one day only. February 22nd. Here at Clarence, we're always keeping you in style.
Welcome back. And we now take a look at the region. In Trinidad and Tobago, the shooting of a murder suspect in East Port-of-Spain led to a fiery protest and a standoff with police officers in uptown Port-of-Spain on Monday morning. C News reports.
Topping the news at this time, there remains a heavy police and army presence in the East Port of Spain area following the shooting of a man in Calvary Hill today that sparked a fiery protest by residents. They burnt debris and got into a standoff with police officers who fired shots into the air to disperse the rowdy and angry crowd. The Trinidad and Tobago Police Service said they have also increased patrols along Lady Young Road, Mova and Beetham Highway. Sherilyn Lewis reports.
This was the situation earlier today when residents clashed with police following the shooting of an alleged gang member identified as Akil James, who is known by the alias Christmas. According to the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, around 3 a.m. Monday, members of the Interagency Task Force attempted to execute a search warrant for firearms and ammunition on premises located at Calvary Hill when they were fired upon by the occupants of the house. The TTPS stated that there was an exchange of gunfire when James was struck. The 25-year-old man was rushed to the Port of Spain General Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. The police say a Glock 45 pistol and 7 rounds of ammunition were recovered from the scene. Meanwhile, the shooting sparked outrage by residents of the area who blocked the road in the vicinity of Charlotte and Bath Streets. In this video, we see residents encouraging a garbage truck operator to dump rubbish across the roadway for the residents to set on fire. In this other video, the residents are starting to ignite the pile of garbage but run away when police intervenes. Later on, we can hear shots being fired following a confrontation between one man and an officer. The protest resulted in traffic congestion in certain parts of Port of Spain, but traffic was later returned to normalcy. The TTPS stated the events were recorded and charges against individuals who broke the law will be laid. Sherilyn Lewis, C News.
A deaf-mute man was shot and wounded while walking along Riley Street, East Dry River, Port of Spain. According to the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, Akil Baisden, 39 years of age, was taken to the Port of Spain General Hospital after being shot in the leg. The TTPS stated that around 2 o'clock this afternoon, there was a second round of protests and burning of debris in Piccadilly, Oxford and Besson Streets. However, this was subsequently halted by the TTPS. Up until news time, there continues to be a heavy army police presence in East Port of Spain, with increased patrols along Lady Young Road, Mova and Beetham Highway. The incident today forced the closure of a number of health centers in the East Port of Spain area. They were Upper Laventille, Oxford Street, George Street and Success Laventille. The NWRHA says anyone with clinic appointments for today will be rescheduled and members of the public can continue to access care at any other health center under its purview. They apologize for any inconvenience but state that they are simply looking out for the safety of staff and members of the public alike in the face of violent protests in the area. They are expected to reopen on Tuesday.
And internationally, the Palestinian president is expected to tell the UN Security Council on Tuesday that he wants to set up a new international alliance to mediate with the Israelis. Al Jazeera reports.
Donald Trump's promise of the deal of the century turned into what the Palestinian president called the slap of the century. It's forced Mahmoud Abbas and his team back to the drawing board. Nabil Sath has been involved in Palestinian policy making for decades. He now believes the US is losing its dominant role in the world.
In a world that is changing, I mean, the calculation is not only on our wishes, it's also on our analysis of what's going on in the world, including what Israel now practices. Israel is seeking very much better relations with the Russians, with the Chinese, with the Indians, with the Japanese. Israel itself knows that the world is changing and it cannot ignore these other important forces.
Abbas has been telling leaders from Europe, Russia, China and elsewhere that he wants them to have a role in mediation with the Israelis while retaining US involvement. For any new forum to work, though, the Israelis would have to be willing to take part. With Trump at his back, there seems little incentive for now for Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to change tack.
I doubt that there can be any renewal of the peace process, especially that the alternative sponsorship will be refused by Israel. We will witness a period of no process, no solution.
What's a period?
I mean, probably the coming 1 to 2 years at least.
And that's a fairly bleak outlook, isn't it?
That's right, but this is less harmful to the Palestinians from continuing with a process in which the sponsor, the United States, might come up with a proposal that can be even more harmful than the continuity of the current difficult and bleak reality that we're living.
Anger with Donald Trump's recognition of Jerusalem as Israel's capital came with criticism of the Palestinian leadership for depending on US mediation for the last 25 years. It's felt the pressure to come up with an alternative.
We have no other option. We don't want to go back to violence. We are not abandoning our commitment to the peace process. And when you do that, then you really have to find a new international alliance, a new legal methods and ways and means of really saving our country from being totally overtaken by the Israeli colonial project.
As the Palestinians cast around for new mediation partners, the reality on the ground is that illegal settlements are expanding day by day, eating up more and more occupied land. Time is not on the Palestinian side. Bernard Smith, Al Jazeera, in the occupied West Bank.
Now for your 7-day weather forecast. Here's this week's bridge retraction schedule and today's foreign currency exchange rates. And that's Channel 2 Headline News for this Tuesday evening. As we take our leave, we invite you to find Channel 2 Headline News on Facebook, and YouTube. You can also tune in tomorrow morning at 6:30 for a rebroadcast, and Wednesday evening at 7 o'clock for more news. For now, I'm George Gonzalez, signing out from this newscast, saying thank you for welcoming us into your homes, and do have a blessed evening.